So Dave, Ghost the musical is coming from London to Broadway. Is that a way to look at it? Or is this a whole different type of show? Or what are your challenges, I guess?
Well, we actually have been very lucky because we were 3 months in Manchester in England where we could go and see, you know, the show over and over and do little changes. And then we've been about a year and a few months in London. What's the most toughest time of it is watching a show in front of an audience, but it's also the time when you learn the most. You know, it's that thing when you're making a record in the studio and you're listening to it on great speakers and then you play it to a bunch of friends and then you suddenly hear it for the first time. We've been constantly tweaking it and changing it at Matthew's direction a lot of the time, and often Glenn and I have been thinking this bit doesn't work musically. But now I think we've got it to a stage where there's not a lot when we all sit back and look at it that we want to change anymore. You can kind of feel it, can't you? It's like this, you know, the temperature of the room changes, you know, we know the moments are coming that, you know, we've seen the reaction in Manchester and London where the whole audience sort of gasps or cries or, you know, shouts out loud or laughs. But it's going to be interesting seeing it in New York, you know, because it's a New York story.
When you were approached to do this project, even before you brought Glenn Ballard into the project, and you were told that there was going to be a musical based on the beloved movie Ghost, did you see it as a challenge? Did you see problems or did you see opportunities? How did you look at it?
Well, the first thing that I was wanting to be reassured by was that the writer, Bruce Joel Rubin, who wrote the original script, that he'd been writing the book for the musical. He had a way of expressing himself that I knew would be somebody that'd be very easy to collaborate with. Even though I think he was worried about collaborating, because a lot of writers are used to sitting in a room on their own and their thoughts pouring out onto the paper. All of a sudden there's a few other people in the room and there's another element, which is music. But what happened in our first big meeting with him, and Glenn was there as well, Bruce was talking about all the different things, and I just started playing what he was talking, and this big sort of smile came on his face, and he realized, oh yeah, there doesn't need to be so much sort of you know, dialogue all the time, because, you know, if you simply change a chord, you know, from a minor chord to a major seventh chord, it kind of explains something.